Please welcome the engineers. Once again, good evening, hockey fans. Welcome to Rensselaer and Houston Fieldhouse for tonight's ECAC matchup between the Big Red of Cornell and your Engineers of Rensselaer. Let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First, the visitors from Cornell, starting in the goal, number 35, Matthew Galida. At left defense is number 8, Yanni Caldas. At right defense, number 29, Alec Mccrae. The starting forward line for Cornell. At left wing, number 14, Mitch Vanderland. At center, number 10, Bo Sterrett. And at right wing for Cornell, number 22, Jeff Malott. The rest of the Cornell University hockey team, their head coach is Mike Schaefer. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the Engineers of RPI. Leading your Engineers on the ice tonight, please welcome the junior engineer, Ben Barna. Starting in the goal, a freshman from Cambridge, Ontario, number 31, Owen Savory. At left defense, a freshman from Bloomington, Minnesota, number 23, Jake Johnson. At right defense, a junior from Toronto, Ontario, number 24, Will Riley. These starting forwards, at left wing, he's a senior from St. Mary's, Ontario, number 21, Brady Whiffen. At center, a junior from Slingerlands, New York, number 26, Jake Morello. And at right wing, a junior from Irwin, Pennsylvania, number 8, Mike Cornell. The rest of the RPI Engineers and their head coach, Dave Smith. Assistant coaches, Dan Jewell and Chuck Weber. Ladies and gentlemen, before today's game, we'd like to take a moment to remember an important member of RPI hockey's extended family, Bob Dahl, an off-ice official for RPI men's and women's hockey for more than 30 years. He was part of a group of off-ice officials regarded as the best in college hockey. Bob will be missed, so we ask, please join us in a moment of reflection as we remember the life of Bob Dahl. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, to honor and respect our two great countries and the men and women who have served and continue to serve, we ask that you rise and remove your hats for the performance of the National Anthem of Canada by the RPI Pep Band. And now the Troy Middle School 7th and 8th grade choir will sing the national anthem of the United States of America.
Fieldhouse. It'll be the Engineers and the 13th ranked Big Red here on 91.5 FM WRPI Troy. Glad you're joining us here on this I guess warmer February evening. It's been below zero for at least a couple of nights here, Joe. They're below sub-zero temperatures, but felt balmy out there. I think it was like 15 degrees, and I was walking down from ECAP to the rink, and I was like, wow, this feels nice.
Yeah, 28 degrees.
28 degrees.
Yeah, it's summer here. 28 degrees.
No wonder it felt so good. I felt like usually I'm sprinting between the rink and ECAP.
Yeah, no, it's funny how that works. It gets real cold for a couple days, and suddenly 30 degrees doesn't feel too bad. I actually got to go for a little bit of a run myself, and I was sweating. And I wasn't even running that hard. So.
All right, well, that's good news.
It shows you.
We got 20 minutes on the clock. It'll be Cornell in, I guess they call it carnelian and white. It's the red helmets, the single white stripe around the waist and on the sleeves and on the socks. RPI in their home whites with the red shoulders, white helmets in 2018-19, red pants, black and red stripes on the socks as we drop the puck here at the Houston Fieldhouse. Engineers and Big Red, and this is going to be icing called on Cornell. Starting goaltenders, it'll be Matthew Galida, the sophomore from Aurora, Ontario. He's 9-5-0 with a .205 goals against average and a .910 save percentage. And for RPI, once again, it'll be Owen Savory. He's now a 3-9-1 with a .237 goals against and a .930 save percentage. Face off in the Cornell zone off the icing. Quick shot comes in. It was blocked by the skate in front. I think that was Starrett. Back down come the Big Red, far corner RPI zone. Off the wall, quick shot comes in, and it's tipped to the corner. Savory got bumped in front. That was Starrett again. And now he'll try and track it down on the far side, thrown back behind the goal. Over to pick it up is Morello. Cross ice feed is a good one, finding Riley. Stretch pass, trying to find Cornell. Looking to fit through that seam down the middle. He nearly got to it. He'll track it down now below the goal line. Whacked around to the near side, half wall back to the point, kept in by Shane Baer. Starrett around behind for Mccrae. He'll settle things down. Alec Mccrae, a senior from El Cajon, California. Gets it back from the near side, Yanni Caldas. And Mccrae will really slow things down now to a standstill behind his own goal. Minute 5 into the first period. No score. RPI and number 13, Cornell from the Houston Fieldhouse. Kicked at by Lepinen. Sent back through the middle. It's Tristan Mullen. Stolen away from him by Tour Linden. Trying to find Lepinen. A little bit too far out of his reach. It'll be worked along up the boards. Tied up there is Mullen. Avoiding the hit from Burgess. Stepping in his Bear across the red line to fire it down. Galida leaves it aside for Alex Green. He goes D to D for Matt Nuttall. And now worked along by Regish. They get as far as the RPI blue line before Nuttall's going to dump this one in. Picked up by Kyle Hallbauer. Picked up goal number 3 on the year last night against Colgate. He'll navigate the neutral zone. Hallbauer just steps to the blue line, and he'll throw it down low. Wrapped around to the near side as Mears Moore throws a hit behind the cage. To the point near side, poked at by Ferner. Stick handled by Moore. Mears Moore, the senior from Duluth, Minnesota, going to do a nice job to keep that play alive in the offensive zone. 2 minutes in, just underway at the Houston Fieldhouse. Into the offensive zone comes Donaldson, trying to throw it across the zone. Intercepted by Zeke, poked off his stick, and turned around over there by Morgan Barron. RPI back on it, near side through Ott, and they're saying no icing as Ott touched it. It'll be worked up the far side now by Heiskanen. Back behind the cage. This is a veteran Cornell group. You probably heard all these names before, aside from maybe Regish. As it's worked down the middle by Sterrett. Turned around by the Engineers, Riley. Near side Johnson. Jake Johnson up the wall, ahead for Bowman. Nick Bowman at the half boards, throws it across. Dangerous pass looking for Riley. And Riley does a nice job to keep it alive in the zone. Riley has it poked free. He was looking for a shooting lane, top of the circle. It's all the way out to center, corralled by Johnson. Jake Johnson down the middle, finds Nick Bowman. Nick Bowman has great hands. He showed it off a couple of times. That time he elects to just dump in, and RPI will get a change. Good start for these Engineers in this game. We are scoreless, of course, but staying right with, hanging right with this Cornell club. 16:45 to play in the first. Cornell looks to break out now near side. Betts gonna move it in deep. It'll rattle around to the far side. Pitched up into the air, chipped into the air by Ferner, and got it up again at center by the Big Red. Lifted along by Cornell. Morello trying to jump on it. First one to it's Green. Green around behind the goal to the near side. Tipped out to center ice. Gathered up again by the Engineers, and it's Ferner who shoots it right back in. Slowed down by Galida, claimed by Green. He takes a hit from Whiffen on the forecheck. Far side, Matt Nuttall, senior from Marilla, New York, will get it as far as his own bench, where he stopped up there, sends it back into the zone. Mishandled by Green. He has to go back to the near corner to get it. He'll throw it behind his own goal on the indirect, now up the wall. Tommy Grant pinches along the boards right in front of the Cornell bench area. Loose puck gathered up by Cornell, and now it's Green across the red line. He'll get to the blue line and shoot it in. Rattles around to the far side. Tommy Grant's pinned up there by Sterrett. Back behind the RPI cage, it's Bear. Lifting it off the glass. Past Lepinen, kept alive by Caldis. Right back to Sterrett, who tried to get a shot away. That was actually Regish. Now back come the Engineers. A long slap shot from outside the zone is going to be handled by Galida, and we get a stoppage here, our first of the game. 15:32 to play, second, I guess. 15:32 to play in the first period, no score.
Yeah, no score, and they like to say in hockey, they like to say it's good to get a quick start. Everybody wants a quick start, get that first goal. But I think it's also important for the Engineers to show that they can skate with this team. This is one of the top teams in the country, and the Engineers have shown that they can keep up with these guys, just like they've kept up with some of the best teams all year.
Tie up along the near side boards, and it'll be moved out of the zone by Cornell. Now they're on the attack. Mullen will wrap this one around, and it'll be played back behind the RPI goal. Jake Johnson's there. Takes a look and try and play it up the near boards. It's bottled up there by Morgan Barron. Now turning and shooting Barron. A save made by Savory, and he has to try and find the rebound. It hopped out of his glove, and he held on for a stoppage there.
Yeah, Morgan Barron, extremely dangerous. He had 2 goals last night against Union, and he's the reigning ECAC player of the month. So he's one of the top scorers on this team, and Owen Savory up to the task.
Face-off in the RPI zone upcoming. 5 minutes into the first period, we are scoreless. Not a bad place to be if you're RPI. Ice seems to be pretty level as far as the puck movement and the like, as RPI does ice it here. Get a stoppage and to send the draw back down into RPI territory.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to get a deflection. Cornell was trying to get a deflection in the neutral zone, but unable to get a stick on it. It was a bit high of a pass.
RPI women's hockey fell to number 6 Cornell today, 5-0. Labisa Slander 48 saves. She is now just 40 shy of the NCAA all-time career record, which will more than likely be broken next weekend here at the Houston Fieldhouse. Mike Cornell going to flip this one into the zone, and RPI had a couple players go over the blue line earlier, so they had to touch up. That'll allow Mitch Vanderland to reset. Back into the attacking zone come the Big Red. It's Sterrett behind the goal. He's pinned up by Hallbauer, doing the best he can. This is a big grouping out there for Cornell. Near side Mccrae throws it towards the net. Hit a foot. Pops right back to the point and through Mccrae out to center. Mccrae going D to D for Joe Leahy, the least experienced of this blue line grouping. 14 games played. As it's worked back into the zone. Far side, there's a handoff along the wall. Carried behind the goal now. It's Connor Murphy, wraparound try. Loose to the near side. Savory makes the stop. Puck pops in the air, and it is behind the goal. Back to the point for Nuttall. I don't know how that stayed out. And another shot blocked. Another one saved by Savory. Oh my goodness.
He's been unreal these past couple games. I really don't know how that. There were bodies everywhere. I don't know how he saw that puck and kept it out of the net. He's got his mask off now, probably trying to clear all the snow out of it.
Great chances there for Cornell, but Savory keeps them scoreless as we have our first media stoppage of the game.
Yeah, first media stoppage here, but back to the drawing board for the guys on the ice as they head over and get a talk from Coach Smith, and they're probably trying to figure out how to not let that happen, because it's good that Savory made those saves, but you don't want that to become routine for your goaltender. You want him to be able to just be able to see the shot and take it right into his glove without having to worry about six of opposing players whacking at his pads trying to get that puck and having it shoot up in the air. So if you're Savory, if you're Coach Smith, you're talking to your guys about clearing the front of the net and making sure that those guys don't get those second chances. You really don't like the second chance opportunities, because on a second chance opportunity, your goalie's down, and so he's not able to make that initial look at the puck. And if it's off a rebound, it means that, and he's down, it means that there's probably an opening at the top of the net for him to just lift up. So if you're the Engineers, you got to make sure those second chance opportunities don't happen.
Draw coming up in the RPI zone, and a face-off win for the Big Red. They'll work it down low. Now back towards the point. Spinning down was Barron. Penalty coming up on Johnson for a hook. As Galida tried to get to the bench, but RPI got a touch. So power play for Cornell coming up here.
Yeah, and the Engineers were 2 for 3 on the penalty kill last night. So penalty kill starting to get better on the season. The Engineers are doing better than they did to start the year, for sure. Right now, their penalty kill is at 79.8%.
Hook on Johnson. First power play chance for the Big Red comes here. Shot comes in and a save by Savory. And now back up top. Near side, Barrett down low. They move behind the cage. Lifted behind, Ferner trying to track it down. And now Vanderlyn, he's wrapped up. Ferner has some space behind the goal, going to try and backhand it out. Good strong backhand. He lifts it all the way down the ice. And it'll be stopped up by Galida. And carried on by Cornell. Into the zone. Going to be covered up by Savory, and he holds on.
Yeah, and he was able to just walk his way right through the neutral zone and right into the offensive zone. No Engineer was there to stop him. Morgan Barron, that is, who's, like we said, just been phenomenal all month. And to let a player of that caliber just walk through almost unopposed. I mean, there were players there, but they weren't being aggressive enough with them.
Shot right off the draw, halfway through this power play for Cornell. And the shots are currently 8-2 Big Red, and Savory stopped them all. I guess 8 of the 10. He didn't stop the 2 that Galida did. That'd be special. If he could save pucks at both ends, Joe. Then you might really have something.
It'd be like Snoopy playing tennis on Thanksgiving. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Trust me. Snoopy's a Minnesota dog. You knew that too. Charles Schultz is from St. Paul.
I did not know it, but you learn something new every day.
12 minutes to go in the period. Shot comes in. Savory makes the stop. And he'll fire this one. Great keep by Mccrae at the far point. Bouncing there. Second, third effort. RPI gets it out of the zone. 34 seconds to go. And it'll be moved in deep.
Gotta like that second effort from Linden here to keep the puck in the offensive zone.
It'll be turned around by Mccrae. 19 seconds to go on the Cornell power play. The first for either team. Whiffen continuing to put the shorthanded pressure on. Remember, he scored a shorthanded goal last time these two teams met in Ithaca last year. Moved in far side up the boards. Turned over by Motley and set down by RPI with 3 seconds to go on the power play. That'll just about
RPI
do it.
returns to full strength.
As it'll be gathered up and moved out by Heiskanen. Tipped in deep on the chase. First one to it. Going to be Kyle Betts. Behind the RPI goal, stepping through a check was Malott. And he takes a bump. And now a good hit in the corner. Puck comes free. Touch pass for Bowman. He wants to skate. Runs out of room. He'll actually just flip it around a pair of Big Red. And it'll be grabbed up by Heiskanen after it goes behind the goal. Far side, it's Liam Motley. Dropped it off. Here's Yanni Kaldis into the near circle. Pried away from him, but kept alive at the point by Alex Green. Behind the cage, Murphy. Spinning away from Ferner. Still Connor Murphy, the junior from Ancaster, Ontario. Will get tied up now in the near corner of the RPI zone. 10.5 to go in the first. Puck back out to center. Nuttall there. Cross ice feed is a good one. Tipped into the zone. Ferner trying to take a whack at it. Gathered up anyway by Mullen. Engineers kick it to center. Burgess lobs it on. Nice play. Bowman at the end of a shift. He'll chip it in and go off. Burgess chases after it. Nearly given away on the far side. Went right through Zeke and now out to center. Stick handling in. Tristan Mullen pulls up at the near side circle. Takes a hit from Samek. And the puck's back to neutral ice and now into Cornell territory where Mccrae has it. Backing up into the near side. Given back from Nuttall. Mccrae far side to his own blue line. That finds Mullen. Back to Mccrae. Shots are 10-2 Big Red with 9:40 to go in the first period. Lobbed along and in deep. Samek into the end wall. Slapped around to the near side. Mccrae pinches in. He's wrapped up there by Mears Moore. And we got an old-fashioned scrum going on here in the near corner. Finally, it comes loose. Moore has it. Has a man breaking as Linden. He tried to find him. He gave it away in the top of the zone. Near side. Backdoor feed. And it just went through Barron, who would have had a wide-open net if he could have got his stick on it. Now Barron behind the RPI goal. Turns it back to the far point. Nuttall a shot. That one hammered wide. Karam's to the near side. That was Leahy. I beg your pardon with a shot. Now Mccrae down low. Circle back up top. Here's Leahy again. Walks around Zeke. All the way around the net. Tried to feed it back and a good poke check there. A shot saving poke check by Samek. Turns that puck back out to center ice. Cornell ready to reset there. Near side connection as they make a line change. It's Kyle Betts. Spins it into the zone. Good speed. Here they come. Walking in. Good tie up there. Gornell. Shot never came from Malott as it's tied up in the far corner now. Far side wall given away by Gornell to the point. That's Heiskanen. Near side, a shot right on. It was Kaldis who took it. And Savory able to gobble that one up as well.
Yeah, and Cornell continuing to put pressure on, but as I stated during the last stoppage, I think it's good that I think the Engineers are getting the message on that last sequence after they could have had a wraparound attempt, but luckily Tommy Grant was right there to take a whack at the guy that was coming out from behind the net and just sort of protecting the goaltender and not letting him get whacked at on those second chance opportunities, because Savory, as we've seen these past few games, can make the saves when he can see the puck, and that's the most important part for the Engineers right now. So even though the Big Red are getting their shots off, Savory is able to see them, and if he can see them, he can stop them.
Absolutely. Just want to finish that point. Charles Schultz is actually from Minneapolis. I made a mistake saying from St. Paul, but they do have a bunch of, I don't know if they're not porcelain, but a bunch of like Snoopy statues all over Minneapolis there. like they have Uncle. You ever see the Uncle Sams that they have downtown Troy?
Yeah.
Dressed up as different in different ways, different
Snoopys.
designs. Right. There's different Snoopy.
Hockey Snoopy.
I'm sure you better believe there's a hockey Snoopy.
It's Minnesota.
Absolutely. Anyway, yeah. So RPI gonna try and clear this one out. Shot comes in. It's hammered wide off the stick of Malott, and it's lifted on out. This could be icing here on the Engineers, and it is called by the referee over there, Marty Hughes. Refs tonight, Marty Hughes and RPI graduate, class of 2005, C.J. Hannafin. The linesmen are Jason Shaddy and Mark Grobel.
So the Engineers getting a penalty.
Oh, there's a penalty. Yeah, it's on Malott, looks like. I didn't see it.
Power play coming up.
Power play for the Engineers. It must have been away from the puck. I didn't see it at all.
Yeah, I didn't see it either, so maybe it was interference or something off the puck.
So here we go, RPI power play, 8:04 to go.
Number 22, Jeff Malott.
In the period, here's a drive and a glove save by Galida as Riley was robbed there. Now we get some pushing and shoving as Nuttall got into it with Lepidin, and they were quickly separated.
And the Engineers were 2 for 3 last night on the power play. So
Yeah,
Will Riley flicking his stick around, feeling lucky, ripping a shot from the circle.
that was a good shot, and Galida held it there for a moment to make sure everybody knew. This is cleared all the way down by Nuttall. And it'll be left aside by Savory. Here's Shane Bear. Fed near side for Riley. He has some space to skate into. Flips it off the end boards. Help back towards the far wall. Zeke plays it down low. Swatted around to the near side, letting it run back to the point for Riley. He tries to find Lepidin, but it's stolen away by Nuttall, then runs into Riley, but is able to clear to center. Minute 20 to go on the RPI power play, their first of the game. Scoreless here with 7:20 to play in the first period. Shot around to the near side, gathered up by Riley. Far side point, touch pass there, Lepidin. Up top, Lepidin. Bear looking for a shot. He'll pull it down and work it to the far side. Zeke, top of the circle, near side point, Bear. Back to the top of the far circle for Zeke. That puck jumps on him. He'll play it down low. Pass tough to handle for Lepidin. He'll be tied up now behind the Cornell net. 50 seconds to go on the power play. As there's 3 Engineers down there with 3 big red and just bats covering the net front. This is fine if you're a Cornell fan, just running out the clock on this penalty kill. Finally it comes free. Battle for it there. Lepidin's tied up with Betts. And now they scrum on the far side. Sent behind the goal. Chance for Nuttall to clear, and he finds the lane and shoots it all the way down. 20 seconds left on this RPI power play. Their first shots are 11-3 Big Red. And we're approaching the 6-minute to go mark in this first period. Hallbauer, little saucer pass. Barron reads it and steals it. Starrett breaking. Broken up by Hallbauer in the end, and an offside whistle goes. I don't know exactly sure why. It looked like Hallbauer had the puck, but nonetheless, we get a stoppage here. 1 second left on the power play.
Yeah, and the Engineers, it looked like they were able to get the puck into the zone cleanly enough, but then they would send it around behind the boards, and they would get jammed up by Big Red. And it seemed like that was their game plan, to sort of just trap the puck on the wall and hold it there as long as they could. And it worked, because as soon as they got it out of the scrum, they would send it right down the ice.
Out of the box comes Malott. And the puck's now in the far corner. Carried on by Ott. Around the goal he goes. Donovan Ott, wraparound triangle. Ida makes the save. And he was left a little bit of room, and maybe Ott had more time than he thought, but he ends up ripping it right into the midsection of Matthew Galida.
Yeah, and that was a strong play from Ott, taking the puck around behind the net. And he's got 2 goals on the year so far, and that's with only 20 games under his belt. So he's definitely a confident shooter, a guy that's not afraid to shoot the puck. And with guys like Polino and Hayhurst out of the lineup these days, that's what you want. You want confident shooters and guys that aren't afraid to shoot the puck. Somebody's got to step up, and Ott is taking the initiative while he's in the lineup.
Absolutely. As we have another stoppage here, another media stoppage. We had basketball, RPI basketball in action this afternoon. We'll get you those scores as they come in. It looks like both games are done, so I can tell you those. From Ithaca, well, both teams lost. Women's basketball lost 72-66 in overtime. RPI men lost 89-85. It's been a tough luck year for RPI men's hoops. They've lost a number of tight games. They probably have scored more points than they've given up, and don't have the record to show for it. Anyway, back to action here. 5:45 to go in the period. Sent back to the circle. Riley's going to whack it right back down low. With it, turning in the near circle, lost the puck. Moved out by Caldis and lifted on into the RPI end. Will Riley there, junior from Toronto, Ontario, finds Jake Johnson up the near side boards, lifted up the air. Now Whiffen. Nice feed, trying to find Morello, just went right through him, but it does go into the zone. Skated out by Yanni Caldis for the Big Red. Up the near side boards, there's a big time hit thrown by Whiffen after Caldis got rid of that puck, and now it's sent back the other way. Far side, Caldis slaps it along. Picked up by Grant. He gets it as far as the Cornell line, where it's turned around by Yanni Caldis once more. The junior from Montreal will just shoot it in and go off on a change. Up the near side boards by the Engineers. They'll just clear to center. Mccrae lost it. Spins around and picks it up in the near corner of his own zone. Sent behind for Leahy. Up the boards. Good tie up there by Grant. Allows Moore to pick it up and shoot it right back in. Galida stops it there. 4:40 left in the first in a scoreless game. RPI and number 13 Cornell. On comes Leahy. He'll shoot it in. Brady Ferner trying to get there first and does. Wraps it far side. Zeke lifted up the wall but not out. Big hit thrown there by Burgess. And he got that skate up in the air again like he did last night. Ended up breaking some glass. Here nothing comes of that as it's rung in by Grant. That's just the picture etched in my brain there of Burgess's skate going up in the air. And it was a puck flipped in front of goal, covered up by Galida with Laka in the vicinity.
Yeah, not a bad idea there from Torland and just getting the puck on the net. The Engineers haven't had too many shots this period, and Big Red, of course, has being the team that they've got strong defense, and so the Engineers might not be able to get that perfect shot if they don't have a power play set up. So just getting pucks towards the net will hopefully result in a goal.
Face-off coming up in the Cornell zone. As looked like Starrett got tossed from the dot. Face-off pulled behind the goal by Heiskanen. He'll try the far wall out to center. Race for it here. Samik's going to get there. Junior out of St. Paul, Minnesota. On for Laka, the freshman from Bratislava, Slovakia. Sent back to Bear, and now he'll find Samik in the RPI end. Up the near side wall, tapped deep by Linden. They race after it. Heiskanen left in the near corner, bump thrown by Laka, but the Big Red stay on it out to center. Carried on further. This is Malat trying to make a nifty move around Ferner. That didn't work out. And Leppinen takes a hit, but continues to battle for the puck along the near boards in front of the RPI bench. Touch past Laka, back for Leppinen. He'll flip it deep. RPI will get a partial change. 3:20 to go in the first. Tie up the near corner. Heiskanen works it around behind neatly for Caldis. Or make it Green, rather. He gives it away. Bowman in the far circle, twisting and turning, lost it there. Peeled away by Ferner. He'll shoot it in. RPI had to touch up. It was Bowman who did, and now they're back on the chase again. Falling down far side, picked up Bowman. Bowman turning, circle, back to Johnson. Johnson pulled it back and fanned on the shot. Now Riley gives it back to Johnson, top of the circle. Johnson a shot, and he put it wide. Tommy Lee around to the near side, where he spins it right back down low. As he got to the blue line, ran out of room. Caldis takes a hit, nice play. Bowman centering feed, he threw it in the air. Maybe got a little bit too excited there and lifted that pass and went all the way back out to neutral ice. Turned right back around by Ott, who shoots it in. On the chase, Mccrae picks it up, watched by Lee, fed to the far side, off the side boards. Barron goes into it there with Riley, and the puck goes back behind the Cornell net. 2:20 to play in the first period. Scoreless game between the 13th ranked team in the country, the Cornell Big Red, and these Engineers, both coming off wins from a night ago. Morello walking in, takes a shot, and a save by Galida. and then he swiped his arm out. I'm not sure
stop
why.
by the engineer
I don't think
pro shop
Whiffen liked it at all. It looked like
the concession behind
it was
section
near
2.
the vicinity
Stop
of
by, check out
Whiffen's
all
skates. I'm
the
not sure what
engineer's
Galida was
swag.
trying to do there, but it certainly wasn't a natural move, and that's, I think, what startled Whiffen to a certain extent.
Yeah, Whiffen just kind of sliding through after the fact, just his momentum taking him towards the net, and then he just wasn't really expecting it. But what I wanted to talk about was the fourth line there. Just had a pretty strong shift. Tommy Lee, Nick Bowman, and Donovan Ott creating several scoring chances. And Tommy Lee just has a motor that doesn't stop.
Puck played out to center, gathered up by Burgess. Under 2 minutes to go in the period. Shane Bear going to lift this one in the air and in deep. Chased after by Green. He'll wrap it near side. Play out to the point. Bear shovels it right back in. Burgess, nice find. Zeke, a shot over the top. Might have been partially blocked. Nice job to pinch there, Tommy Grant. Grant behind the goal. Around to the near side corner, now to the half wall. Try to send it back to the point. There's nobody there. And now it's gathered up by Cornell. They break to RPI's line, 3-on-2. Stare a drop pass. Broken up as Nuttall lost it into the corner. Now back behind the cage it goes. Mullen. Stolen away by Bear. Cornell with a partial change going on, so the Engineers should be able to break the center, and they do. Zeke crosses the red line, spins around, and shoots it in deep. RPI can change all 5 now with 1:13 to play in the period. Shots are 11-5 Cornell. They were up a big early 10-2, and the Engineers have really clamped down and really had the better of the puck possession over the last 5-10 minutes. Here's a shot right on, though, and a save by Savory. Puck goes behind the cage to the far side. Swatted at by Laka, comes right back to him in the far corner. 52 seconds to go in the first. Caldas far side, back to the point. Near point, Mccrae holding. He'll fire it off the end boards to the side of the net where it's covered up by the mitt of Savory. 43 seconds exactly to play in the first period. We are still scoreless.
And Connor Murphy there trying to get a second whack at the puck, but Will Riley dumping in right to the ice in front of Savory so that Savory could make that save. And I think that's important for the Engineers after that first scoring sequence. Luckily, Savory was able to keep it out of the net, but they're not letting these second chance opportunities come again.
Face-off won by the Engineers. Ferner up the glass and gets it as far as Cornell. He takes a big hit there. Move back in. Malott trying to drive his way to the net, goes around the cage. He's pushed on further by Riley and now turns it back towards the near corner. Now Ferner's on him. Malott's a big body to handle, and the Engineers do just enough to keep him away from the dangerous areas, and now they're going to shoot this one all the way down. Race for it here. Gornell's going to be beaten down ice by Nuttall. It'll be icing with 16 seconds to go in the first period.
Yeah, Will Riley, again, just playing really good defense there behind the net to sort of prevent the wraparound at this a wraparound attack. He forced him to take a wide angle and take a wide path around the net, and it gave Savory more time, but it also prevented him from getting his stick right into that corner pipe.
Shot coming, it's blocked down right off the draw. That was Cam Donaldson who stepped into one. And if nothing else, with 7 seconds left to go in the period, they'll move it ahead. Donaldson steals it, or lost it to Gornell, who chips it back. And I'll say, if nothing else, the Engineers kept this potent Cornell offense off the board for the opening 20 minutes. They had 12 shots, a number of them early, and none of them were, maybe 1 or 2 grade A chances, but nothing means that they definitely should have scored there.
Yeah, I think the only one that they might have wished they think they should have scored on is that one where there was just a flurry in front of the net with bodies flying everywhere, and the puck went shooting up into the air and people just whacking at it. But yeah, no, the Engineers, like I said, they've been allowing Savory to see these shots, and so it's made his life easier.
Absolutely. We'll step aside and be back with our first intermission here at the Houston Fieldhouse, where it is scoreless between RPI and Cornell on 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy.
Skaters will take the ice. Please welcome the Bethlehem Youth Hockey Mighty Might 6U program. Now in the black, we have Namish, Gavin, Owen, Cabot, Tim, Bradley, Mason, Matthew, Ranish, and Hunter. And in the white are Brian, Braden, Ryan, Eric, Andrew, Henrik, John, and Ben. Team is coached by Scott Rock, Andrew Rodriguez, Trish Cooper, Joe Suich, and Joel Middleton. Have a nice round of applause for the Bethlehem Yukon Mighty Mite 6U team. Thank you, guys. Now we direct your attention to the west end, in the Engineer Pride area, for the CEFQ Money Machine Money Grab, where tonight's contestant will have 60 seconds to grab as much cash as he can floating around inside the CEFQ Money Machine. Whatever he gets to keep. CEFQ will count it up, match it, donate the same amount to charity. Please welcome tonight's contestant, Father Ed. Load it up, we'll get Father Ed in the machine and we'll give him 60 seconds. There it goes, 60 seconds from right now, Father Ed. Seconds. 15 seconds left. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Let's count it up. Father Ed gets to keep what he grabbed, and CEFQ, of course, will donate the same amount to a local charity. CEFQ Money Machine Money Grab. Remember, stop by any of their offices, especially the one on Hoosick Street or here on campus at the RPI unit. CEFQ Money Machine Money Grab. And between drinks, don't forget, stop by the concession stand. They're staffed by RPI athletes to raise money for their program, and they thank you for your support. Hey, if you're thinking of buying or selling a home, contact Jolene Morris with the Brewer Morris team at Howard Hanna Real Estate Services. Give them a call. Call them at 518-331-1579. The top sales team in Rensselaer County. Let Jolene's expertise move you. Hey fans, Ryan's Wake, proud to support RPI Athletics. Head downtown after the game. Check out the pub kitchen at Ryan's Wake.
jump to start the second. Bouncing puck. Johnson can't keep it alive in the zone. Smartly backs on out. Doesn't try to force anything. He'll find Cornell. Cornell to the near side. Gave it away to Mccrae. Face-offs in the first period were 10-8 RPI. Now 11-8 after that opening draw to start the second. So the Engineers back in the face-off winning column. This is a jam try at the far side of the RPI net. Shot off the glass as it was Barron who tried to stuff it past Savory. That didn't work out. And it's worked up the wall, and now Barron into the zone. Turned around. That was Mullen who couldn't corral, or lock rather, and it'll be sent down for icing.
That's still a really impressive play there from Barron, who luckily Savory had his foot on the post to make sure it didn't get jammed in, but a really small angle that he was able to fit his stick through and get the jam try.
Face-off coming up in the RPI zone. 18:43 to play in period number 2. Shots are 13-5. Big Red. That's the one thing the Engineers could work on here. Getting a few more on Matthew Galida. Sent in by Lepinin. Galida is going to play it around to the near side. Gets enough on it to get it to center for Barron. Morgan Barron, sophomore from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Around to the far side, and the shot comes in from Mccrae. It goes wide. Picked up on the near side by Donaldson. Down low, Brendan Locke. Sophomore out of Iroquois Falls, Ontario. Now Barron pulls up and takes a shot, and Savory sees that and holds on. And we get another stoppage here.
Yeah, so after that initial push, the Big Red, by the Engineers, Big Red came right back, and they've really had the momentum since then. Just a little under 2 minutes into the period, but Cornell's starting to get, it looks like they're starting to get antsy. All their shots, and they're all getting stopped.
Face off in the RPI zone. Betts wins it back. Trying to walk it out in front was Regish. Now to the near corner of the RPI zone. Tommy Grant's pinned up there. And it'll be wrapped to the near side half wall. Regish down low, trying to turn out of the far corner now is Tristan Mullen. Morello fell down. Mullen trying to walk out. Now a drive goes wide. Bouncing puck off the back of the RPI net. Played there by Samick. Works ahead to Moore, who nearly gets hit there. Kind of avoided it. Kept in by the Big Red. Tommy Grant near corner. Going to try to wrap it out of the zone. Finds Zeke. Zeke cross ice. Some room over there for Moore. Moore will take a wrister. Easy blocker saved by Galida. Up nearly into the netting and hit the top of the glass and stayed on the ice. Shot through center. This is going to be icing on Cornell, as Brady Ferner thought about chasing it a little harder and ended up backing off, and Jason Shaddy agreed that that was his best effort in an icing call on Cornell.
Yeah, so good play there from Ward. After the Engineers were kind of hemmed into their zone, he found a little bit of an opening, and he took it.
Draw coming up in the Cornell end. 17-19 to go second period. We're still scoreless. Here's Moore's shot there was RPI's 6th of the game. And a defensive zone face-off win. Big Red move it to the near side. Neutral ice right in front of the penalty boxes. Barron has it poked away. Now Starrett carries it over the line. They're offside. And we got another stoppage here. Joe, want to get out-of-town scores quickly from around the league. Princeton and Clarkson tied 1-1. Quinnipiac up 3-0 at St. Lawrence. Union leads Colgate 1-0 in Schenectady. And Yale is on top of Brown 2-0 in New Haven. Face-off win for the Big Red once again. They're getting close to even in that department. It's shot in wide of the goal by Heiskanen. Near side RPI end. Starrett with a crack at it, trying to keep it alive. Loose in the middle of the zone now. Sent out by Burgess and carried on by Whiff, and he'll shoot it in. Bit of a mismatching of lines here for RPI with Whiff and with Burgess and Gornell. One of the more veteran forward groupings that the Engineers could even put together right now. As it's played to the near side, broken up by Lee just off the bench. Caldis still wrapped up by Lee. Loose in the middle of the zone, and Yanni Caldis going to speed it out of there. Now a chance for a 3-on-2. Moving in Vanderland, he gets stood up by Riley. Now a shot comes in wide of the goal by Caldis. Off the base of the cage. Sent down the middle. Breaking is Bowman. Bowman 2-on-2. A wrister and a blocker saved by Galida. Bowman with a very strong wrist shot. He showed it off last night when he fired it basically through the Colgate netminder Benson. Now a centering feed, steered on goal, but almost nothing on it. Savory will make his easiest save of the night and cover up. 15:59 to go in period number 2. Still scoreless here, RPI and Cornell.
Yeah, I've really been impressed by the defensive play of Will Riley here tonight. He's known more for his offense for the Engineers, but he's getting the first pass, and after either poking the puck away or just pushing his guy off the puck, and then he gets that first pass out there and a chance there for Bowman on the breakaway.
Big Red win the draw. Shot blocked down by Lepinin. Gathered up again by Leahy in the neutral zone. Now Mccrae down the middle. Chipped in by Betts. He'll chase after it in the far corner. And Laka wraps up there. Shoot around to the near side. Kept in by Leahy. Behind the goal, it's Murphy. And now Motley. Murphy out of the far corner, trying to feed it to the near side. Finds Leahy. He'll shoot it towards goal. Intentionally wide in the end as he's looking for the redirection. Now twisting and turning is Motley on Samek, trying to jam it in. And it's poked to the side of the cage, and we get a whistle here. I think it might have been before Savory actually covered, but it becomes moot as he did get a glove on it in the end, and we get a stoppage in play.
Yeah, Cornell continuing to push and push and push, and Engineers got it. Maybe with all the aggression that the Big Red are showing, they can sneak a guy out towards neutral ice and get a bit of a breakaway opportunity. Got to clear the puck first, though.
Face-off coming up in the RPI zone. Twisting and turning is Barron, trying to get loose, top of the far circle. Handed off there. Green around the goal. Pulls up, turns back towards the far side wall. Still watched by Morello. Now a shot comes in over the top, hits off the glass in the near corner, around to the near side, and out to center ice. Far side connection. Donaldson takes a hit, comes free to Riley. On for Gornell. Gornell into the slot, pulls up there. He goes down, and the puck out to center. Carried on further. Donaldson trying to move it along for Barrett. Tipped into the near corner. Nobody there. Gornell's going to go over and pick it up. Lifted off the glass to center ice past Morello. Backing up in his own zone is Alex Green. Sophomore out of Chicago, Illinois. Former Lincoln Star. And it'll be worked up the far side boards. Moved along. Nice move, Barrett. Top of the circle, far side. Takes a shot. That deflects up high off the glass. Todd Burgess over there, the junior from Phoenix, Arizona, will dig away in the near corner of the RPI zone with Bo Starrett. Starrett behind the cage, trying to pass to the near side. That shot up in the air off the stick of Mullen, but stays on the ice in the far corner. Zeke trying to poke it free. Comes loose to the far corner now. That was Regish. And now Regish behind the RPI cage to the far corner. Shadowed by Burgess. Hand off there, Heiskanen. Heiskanen turns behind the RPI net. Sustained pressure here for the Big Red, rather, and a good hit on Heiskanen separates him from the puck, and Riley's going to lift it to center. Bouncing all the way down the ice, it'll be tracked down by Yanni Kaldis. Kaldis around the cage, wrapped up by Moore. Free to the near side for Malott. And now down the middle, Betts tried to tip it on. It's turned around by the Engineers. Although good back checking there from Betts. Turns it right back the other way. Now a chance for a 2-on-1. Betts a shot. Bad save and a good tie up there in the end. It was Tommy Lee back checking, denying Vanderlyn an opportunity on the back door on the tap in. Rebound, and now we get an icing against Cornell. Shots are 17-7 Big Red, but they could have scored there if not for the alert play of the freshman Lee.
Yeah, and like I said, Lee's one of those high energy guys that always plays with the scrunched up nose, I guess is the term, and just always has his head on a swivel, and he's looking to make the alert play. And that's just an example of it.
Draw coming in the Cornell zone. Pushed forward by Lee, who's centering this fourth line here this evening. Freshman from Calgary, Alberta, picked up his first collegiate point and assisting on Nick Bowman's goal last night against Colgate. That one just kept in the zone. Not sure if that was actually true. But anyway, Call is going to move it in. Centering pass. Broken up by Ott on the far side, but trickles into the far corner anyway. Vanderlyn takes a whack at it. And now it's worked back to the point. for Mccrae. Near side Leahy. He'll fire off the stick of Savory. Hits the glass, and it's picked up by Vanderlyn on the far side. Leahy, top of the zone. Diving poke check by Bowman, and he'll steer it out to center. Hallbauer trying to jump on it there. Centers a pass in the middle of the ice. Only Barron's there, and he'll turn it around quickly. Barron into the zone. Takes a shot right on. Savory makes the stop, and he'll hold on to it there. And it was a good play initially by Bowman and Hallbauer, but you can't give that puck away in the middle of the zone like Hallbauer did, especially to a guy like Barron. He could make you pay in a hurry, and he nearly did there.
Yeah, and I think Hallbauer was expecting someone to be streaking through center ice because he was a defenseman taking the initiative, but unfortunately not there. And like you said, a turnover. Luckily, it was deep enough that Savory had enough time to see Barron with the puck and see him skating through, but not a lost opportunity there for the Engineers, as it looked like Hallbauer had a bit of a breakout.
Yeah, I think it was one of those in-between type plays where the Engineers were hemmed in for a minute. I think a couple of guys were looking for a change, and that's where all that space kind of opened up for Barron too. But any way you make it, really it's any sport. You make a pass across the middle, over the middle, right? You have to be sure of it, because in any sport, soccer, hockey, even in football, you don't want to make a pass across over the middle late, because someone's going to pick it off and go back the other way. That's kind of what we saw there. And as you mentioned, Savory was able to see it well. But if you give a guy enough shots between the dots, they're eventually going to bury one. So
yeah, exactly, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
The Engineers seem to be chasing a little bit. They seem to be chasing in their own zone right now, and that Bowman had that very good stick to push it out, but you want them to get some possession. You want them to get possession like Riley has right now.
12:10 to go in the second period. You're listening to live coverage of RPI Hockey, 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy. Engineers on the attack. A quick shot as Galida went out of the net to play, and he just got back in time. Now it's lifted as center. On comes Barron, pulls up top of the circle, fed across, and it goes through. Locke picks it up in the near corner, pops free to the circle. There is Barron. He'll fire on goal. Savory makes the stop. There's a man in the crease. It was Locke, and it's going to be covered up by Savory. I don't know if that puck even goes in, if it's going to count, as Brendan Locke was nearly sitting on top of Savory when the shot came in from the point.
Yeah, but last weekend Savory got ran into a couple times.
That's true.
It didn't seem to matter, so.
Another look at it for the folks on RPI TV. Now, the problem RPI would have had there is Johnson might have been considered to be forcing Locke in. But, again, it doesn't seem to matter now, as Savory was able to cover it up. And now we got too many sticks on the ice. We got a broken goalie stick for Owen Savory. Dana McGuane quick with the other one. And Samek just playing delivery man there. Hands off the goaltender stick to Savory, a new one. Hopefully it was as good as his last one. Face-off win ahead. Whiffin going to carry it along and cross the red line and dump it in. Shots are 20-8 Cornell, but we remain scoreless here. This a little bit reminiscent of the Mayor's Cup, with RPI and Union going scoreless for even longer than this, of course. Cornell going to lift it along into the offensive zone. McCrae's there. Shot around behind the goal from Leahy. He'll swat it near side. Vanderlyn had it nearly stolen away. It's loose in his skates, and Leahy finds it. And he'll work it back behind for Mccrae. Alec Mccrae, a senior from El Cajon, California, former Waterloo Blackhawk, will find Leahy, and now it's off for Regish. Regish dumps it in. Vanderlyn, far side corner. Turns out of the corner back to the point. And then Heiskanen lost it. Out to center ice. He's wrapped up by Whiffin. Breaking is Burgess. He lost the side of the puck. It's going to be icing on the Engineers, who would have been in business. If Burgess had seen that pass, he easily could have nabbed it. He kind of looked the other way over his other shoulder, and the puck was on the right other than the left.
And I think with the Engineers not getting as many shots off as the Big Red, they need to take advantage of the opportunities that they do have. And right there, not taking great advantage was Todd Burgess.
Face-off coming up in the RPI zone. As it's going to be Whiffin to take it. He wins it backwards. Up the near side and all the way down. This is going to be icing again on RPI, who Engineers were trying to change there, but that, of course, will not be allowed. You are listening to live coverage of RPI Hockey, 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy. And here at the Houston Fieldhouse, Joe Pisacano and I have this one for you. Scoreless game, we're almost halfway through.
Yeah, scoreless, and well, not all thanks, but a lot of thanks goes for that to Owen Sabry, who is on pace to make another 40 saves at the moment.
That's good math by you, Joe. I can see how you got in here. Shot in by the Big Red. It'll wrap around to the near side. Burgess going to play it back for Bear. Now Ferner. Near side, Burgess. He'll carry it into the zone. Makes a move, takes a shot. Galida with the save. He'll hold on to it there. And he hasn't had a whole lot to do. Bowman's challenged him with a shot. Moore just kind of threw it on goal. And again, it looked like more of the same there from Burgess. If nothing else, maybe he makes a mistake, A, or B, he gives up a little bit of a rebound. Also, I guess, some kind of mistake, Joe, and engineers can try to punt that.
Yeah, and what I noticed on that last rush was that their passes were all tape to tape, and that's important when you're trying to break out.
Green going to shoot this one in. First one to it, Murphy. He takes a hit from Bear. Now Motley to the near side, Lee. And then here comes Zeke. He gets knocked down by Nuttall, wrapped around to the far side. For the first time tonight, I think we have Motley and Tommy Lee on the ice at the same time. So people who were alive in the 80s have something to talk about. Picked up Tommy Grant. Up ahead, Ott makes a move, and he gets knocked down. It'll be turned around and sent along by Regish. Wrong into the near side. We have an icing call here. No, they wave it off. I thought his arm was up, but they don't blow the whistle. We play on. Caldis, near side. Regish, down low. There's a little bit of confusion, mostly from me, but also a couple of the players, as to they thought that icing whistle was going to go. That arm went down very late. 9:08 to go in the second period. Shot around to the far side. And carried to the top of the zone. Caldis makes a move. It's poked away. And now Caldis going to fire it to the goal line extended. Swatted back out towards the center ice. And now it'll be played by Bowman. Bowman takes a hit, lost the puck. Turned around by Malott. He'll move it in with speed. Malott all the way to the net front, trying to jam it in. And it's stripped away by Ferner at the very last moment. Malott has looked very dangerous. Just flying up the ice, and he's unhappy with himself. It's a little bit surprising he only has the 5 points on the year, as Jeff Malott, just a force going to the net. And if not for Ferner there, the tie-up late, probably would have scored. Yeah,
Ferner, a very heads-up play there to swipe it out of the goal mouth. Looked like he was going to go around Savory.
8:37 to go in the second. Tie-up right on the dot. Puck finally comes free to Malott. And Jeff Malott will now lose it to the near side. Laka trying to clear. Lepinin throws it cross ice, and picking it up is Ferner. He'll cross the red line and shoot it in off of Mccrae, but it does go deep. Laka the first one there, although he's just nearly beaten to it, I guess, by Mullen. He'll be wrapped around to the near side. Picked up Riley off the wall. No, it skips through him out to center. Johnson has to come over and help out. He'll lob it in wide of goal. Help to the far corner by Galida. Shot along far side. Sent along the blue line. This will leave the zone. Riley's going to pick it up and wrap it right back in. Mccrae. And now here's Donaldson. Leahy near side of his own zone. Stolen away by Riley, who flips it right back in wide of the cage. Mccrae far side. 7:48 to go in the second. Near side Leahy gave it away. Riley lost the handle. Played back towards the near point. Lepinin right back down low through Riley. Oh, he lost it there. Leahy picks it up for the Big Red. He'll go D to D in his own zone. Mccrae takes a look up ice, feeds it down the middle into the skates of Donaldson. Handled well. Now Barron. He gets tied up and forced back out to center by Johnson. Turned around quickly, far side, Mullen into the zone. Trying to make a move on Johnson, goes behind the goal. Betts, stolen away by Riley. Thrown to the near side corner. Pinching in there is Green, the defenseman. Played back towards the blue line, kept in by Barron. It'll ring around to the far side. Where pinching in is Green again. Shot goes wide. Make that Nuttall on the far side. And then glove down here in the clearing effort. Betts. Near side, throws it through everybody. Riley takes a hit behind the goal from Betts. Picked up there by Tour Linden. the freshman centerman out of Great Falls, Virginia, trying to find Whiffen. That's intercepted at center. And the Big Red take over again. On comes Green. Far side connection into the zone. Starrett at the hash marks takes a shot. And that's one Savory should and probably will save every time, but it draws a whistle here as he holds on.
Yeah, so 6:36 to go here in the second period. Still scoreless, and the Engineers are trying to make the most of their opportunities. When they're getting into the offensive zone, they're trying to send the puck towards the net. Unfortunately, the Big Red are doing a great job of back-checking strong. Despite being really aggressive in the offensive zone, they're making sure that they get back once the Engineers finally do break out of the offensive zone. So the Engineers have to make the most of the few opportunities that they do get. That's what it's gonna come down to tonight. Taking advantage of the few opportunities that you do get.
Shots are 9-4 Cornell in the period, 21-9 overall. Out of town scores, ECAC hockey. Princeton and Clarkson are tied 1-1. Quinnipiac now leads St. Lawrence 5-1. Union still leads Colgate 1-0, and Yale now leads Brown 2-1. All in the second period. And here we have 6:36 to go. We're actually the furthest along of any of the games in ECAC hockey tonight, which is a good change of pace after the delay we had last night with the glass breaking and everything. Played to the near side corner of the RPI zone off the defensive zone face-off for the Engineers. Morello continues to dig away there, finally worked out. And now a penalty coming up on RPI. Calder's going to fire one over the top of the net. And extra skater on for the Big Red. And now it's carried to the near side. Gathered up by Caldas into the skates. Barron a shot over the top. RPI looking to get a touch, and they finally do with 6:01 on the clock in the second.
All right, so another big penalty kill upcoming for the Engineers. They've done a good job of keeping the puck out of the net all night, with the score still being tied 0-0. And it'll be Jake Morello going to the box for holding. So they'll bring out Samick and Grant for the defense, and Linden and Ott for the forwards on the kill.
Face off here, and the Engineers clear it quickly. Oh, that one hit the boards in a good spot. Nearly went into the Cornell bench. Second power play chance for the Big Red. They are 0 for 1. Engineers penalty kill on the year coming in 79.8%. And the Cornell power play at 21.8 coming into play. So that's a very good percentage for the Big Red. And they'll move it into the zone. Donaldson trying to step around and check from Samick, and does. Fed to the near side point into the skates of Vanderlyn. He'll corral it there. Far side, Barron. Up top, Caldas. Back to Barron. Big spot in this game. 5:15 to go in the second period. We are scoreless. Donaldson, that one hopped off his stick, but he keeps it in the zone. Barron up top. Far circle now. Caldas down low. Centering feed. Pad save. Where's the puck? It's underneath somebody. And it's finally under Savory. And now Vanderlyn and Samick. It was more Vanderlyn just going after Samick a bit there. Samick just standing there. Anyway, 1:01 to go on this power play. 5:02 left in the second.
Yeah, it looks like the Engineers are doing a pretty good job to maintain the perimeter and not let the puck get down low with at least if it does get down low, there's a man right there to sort of push the guy off the puck. But Engineers keeping the puck on the outside. Face
off near side. Big Red win it, but it's going to be Gorno who slaps it out of there and all the way down. Behind the cage, Golida going to slow it up for the breakout. Alec Mccrae will get things going. Well, correction, that was actually Locke, and now drop back. Locke to the far side, poked at by Nuttall, wrapped around, and now a race for it here. Puwell shorthanded whiffing with Gornell. 2-on-2, trying to feed it across, broken up nicely, and turned around. Engineers don't even get a shot out of it. As now back comes Malott, trying to turn the corner on Grant. Malott in the near corner. Back to the point. Here's Mccrae. His pass partially broken up, but they stay on the puck near side. It's Locke again. He'll work it down to the goal line, extended near corner. Mccrae, far point. Back to the near point for Mccrae. Far side, Nuttall. Penalty about to expire. It's over. Regan, far side, Nuttall. Shot was blocked. And it goes into the corner. Picked up Whiffen. He'll lob it high in the air and out to center ice. Chasing after it was Lee. Bouncing puck at center, played by Grant. Cornell thought about making a change, but now they have to defend. 3:42 to go in the second. We're still scoreless. RPI 2 for 2 on the kill. Picked up at center ice, Tommy Lee, near side Ferner. A little bit of speed into the zone for Brady Ferner. Drop past Lee, fed across. It was behind Moore. If he could have found his stick blade, the Engineers might have been in business there. Bad as it was, it goes into the far corner. Shot around to the far side. Now Cornell clears to center ice. Murphy to center, some speed in the 2-on-1. Sterrett fires and he missed wide. He had a great opportunity there, and he just put it wide of the net. Now back from the Engineers. Bowman has it taken away, and it goes behind the goal. Now to the near side. On comes Vanderlyn into the zone near circle. Takes a shove from Hallbauer, goes behind the goal. Picked up there by Murphy. Murphy trying to center. It's broken up by Johnson. And picked up by Bowman. Johnson again. Center ice connection to Zeke. Zeke will shoot it deep and chase after it there. Green the first one to it for the Big Red. And now on out to center ice. Now going to be corralled by Burgess. Played along from Morello, who chips it deep. Under 2.5 to play, period number 2. RPI and number 13 Cornell are scoreless. It'll be slowed down now by the Big Red. And Alex Green will play it around for Leahy. Up the wall, far side, carried on further. Good poke check at center by Laka. And now he'll pick up that loose puck. Fed near side for Leppinen. Carries it across the line. Leppinen holds it at the point. Filters down low for Riley. The defenseman who loves to move in on the attack. On his backhand, lost the puck. Carried on out to center, it's Locke. Engineers do a good job to get back defensively. And Locke will just chip into the near corner. Locke now trying to cycle for Barrett. He's wrapped up nicely by Leppinen, doing the defenseman's job in the corner. Back behind the goal it goes. Poked at by Bear. Near side, Heiskanen, centering feed, poked away by Savory. Behind the goal, Downs are trying to center. Couple of jams at it. Another save by Savory. And the Engineers can't clear it out. Now we got a man in the crease, and the faceoff's going to come outside the zone. And Barrett is just standing there staring at the official. If the puck's in the crease, you can go in there. I guess he's got a point. 1:24 to go in the second, Joe. Scoreless.
Yeah, and I think one of the most important things about when they were on the penalty kill with when Whiffen had that chance, one of the most important things is that when you do get a shorthanded chance, you make sure that you skate back hard on the back check, and that's exactly what they did. And that's it takes discipline because you're already shorthanded. If you get caught down ice by yourself, well, it's going to be 5-on-3 on the other side.
Engineers get it deep. Caldas to play behind his own goal. He gets roughed up by Whiffen. Wrapped up there. Whiffen still leaning against him as Sterrett comes away with the puck. To center ice. On they come, Heiskanen. He runs into Bear. Malott trying to drop it back. Finds Heiskanen. Far side. Green takes the shot. Saved by Savory and through the trees. He's able to hold on. And then Sterrett went after the smaller Bear, and Whiffen spins him around and says, you want to deal someone your own size. Although it'll be tough to find someone both Sterrett's size, 6'5", 215. Whiffen at least did his best. 55.3 left in the second. We are still scoreless.
Still scoreless, but plenty of scoring opportunities. Just Owen Savory up to the task on all of them.
As the totals have climbed to 24 saves for Savory. Shots are 24-9, Big Red. And we're still without a goal. Betts to the far side. Mccrae's going to pick it up there. Takes a shot, deflected just wide. I don't think Savory touched that one. I think it was a stick in front of the goal or a skate. Now wrapped far side, 34 seconds to go in the period. Linden gets bumped, played up the wall nicely for Morello. Morello going to lob it high in the air, and this will just deaden in the far circle. Good play there to avoid the icing. Sent back, that one hit something on the way through. That doesn't go as icing either. It'll be picked up by Riley. Good connection for Morello. Carrying into the zone with 14 seconds to go in the period. McCrae has it pinned up there. Behind the goal for Nuttall. Nuttall will try the near side, and he'll speed it ahead with 7. One more rush in the frame. Nuttall in, top of the circle, makes a move. Good poke check there. Diving poke by Laka. He'll swat into the corner, and that's where the second period will end. No score. RPI number 13, Cornell after 40 minutes. Shots are 24-9. The Big Red, the Engineers are winning the face-off battle 19-18. Cornell 0 for 2 in the power play, 4 power play shots. The Engineers' lone power play opportunity, which came all the way back in the first period, generated 1 shot on goal. But no score after 2. For the second time this week, we don't have any scoring after the first 2 periods, Joe.
Yeah, and his teammates coming out to congratulate Owen Savory after that period, who really held them in. And you never like to give up a goal within the first minute or the final minute of any period, because it really it can deflate someone. It can deflate a team. And I've seen it happen to the Engineers multiple times in my years watching this team, and it's very good that they did not let that happen tonight, because once one goes in, when a team's shooting the puck this much, it tends to have the rest start going in unless the team responds. So hopefully the Engineers come out of this third period, into this third period with a lot of confidence and ready to play and make a push for the rest of this game here, because like you said, when the team's shooting this much, you think eventually one's going to go in.
That's, I guess, the hope on both sides here. Anyway, Joe, we're going to take a quick break, come back with our second intermission. Your score after 2 periods is RPI nothing and number 13 Cornell nothing. You're listening to live coverage of RPI Hockey, 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy.
Let's pick a winner. Winner is 43, puck number 43, the winner of the Slidin' Dirty Jug and Puck Contest, courtesy of Slidin' Dirty. Thank you for participating in tonight's contest. Next, we want to direct your attention to the East goal. It's time for the Rensselaer Honda Puck Shoot Contest. Let's welcome tonight's contestant, John Argentino, who participated in the Rensselaer Honda Puck Shooting Contest. He'll have 3 shots from center ice to win the grand prize of a 1-year lease on an all-new Honda. Look at that beautiful Honda entering the ice surface right now. The puck has to pass through the center hole in the board, John. Let's give him some encouragement. John, anytime you're ready. 3 shots. That'll be just a bit wide and short. At the distance, John. Straighten it out a little. Last shot for the car, the lease on the car. That's a bit wide. Congratulations. Thank you for participating in that one. The 4th shot, $25 gift certificate to Dunkin' Donuts. Get it through any of those slots. Almost. And finally, at an empty net for an RPI Athletics t-shirt. Oh, he just missed. John, thank you for participating in tonight's Rensselaer Honda Puck Shoot Contest. Let's have a round of applause for John Argentino. And how about that fine Honda automobile? You can see that or any of the Hondas just a mile east of Houston Fieldhouse at Rensselaer Honda, 770 Hoosick Road, Troy. Or visit on the web at getahonda.net. Rensselaer Honda, simply better. The Hudson Mohawk Figure Skating Club is in its 67th year of Learn to Skate classes Saturday mornings right here at Houston Fieldhouse, and the classes are for all ages. For more information, check out the program at hmfsc.org.
Go down, right down there. Go down.
RPI Hockey would like to thank the Rensselaer Alumni Association, Nigro Companies, Patterson, Sampson, Ginsberg, and Griffin Law Firm, Bellini's Counter, Sodexo, the Hilton Garden Inn, Troy, National Grid Foundation, Turner Construction, the Desmond Hotel, Reifenberg Construction, the Recovery Sports Grill, East Stewart, Jones, Hacker, and Murphy, Stanley Steamer, Stewart's Shops, DSN Sports, Nigro Companies, Rensselaer Honda, Repeat Business Systems, RPI's off-campus housing, and Correct Energy, all proud sponsors of RPI Hockey. Hey, with award-winning chili, fall off the bone ribs, hand-cut steaks, and 10% off with your RPI staff or student ID. Legendary deals like this found only at Texas Roadhouse, 105 Wolf Road, Colony. Come dine with us, Texas Roadhouse. Head to the Mill at Musa. The Hill is a beer garden European staycation. Enjoy beverages and small plates. The Hill, 379 Congress Street, Troy. The Hill, proud to support RPI Athletics.
Welcome back here to the Houston Fieldhouse on the campus of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in Troy, New York. I'm Joseph Pisacano, joined by Perry Lascaris, bringing you live coverage of RPI hockey on 91.5 WRPI Troy. We are scoreless after 2 periods here in the Fieldhouse, and Cornell has almost tripled the number of shots that the Engineers have taken so far tonight. But the Engineers are very much in this game thanks to their freshman netminder Owen Savory, who is coming off he actually had a shutout on Tuesday and then only gave up 1 goal last night, and is looking to have another strong game here tonight with a pretty good one so far. He's had several pretty strong stops with bodies in front of the net, and then also just the defense. But the defense has also done a nice job of making sure that the shooting lanes are clear and that he can see the puck right into his glove or into his padding.
All right, 5 skaters aside to start the third. No score. Shots are 24-9, Big Red. Engineers got them right where they want them. This is tipped on goal from center ice by Morello. Might have been headed over, but Galida makes the stop. And we get a stoppage here, 7 seconds in. We have a draw coming up here. We'll make a call here, Joe. I think Jake Johnson's getting his first collegiate goal here in the third.
Oh.
That's a big one, right?
Yeah, I think it would be his first point as well.
Yeah, you might be right. I think you're right. No, he's got 5 assists. First collegiate goal that was coming up for Jake Johnson. Here's a shot by Morello. That'll be held by Galida from not a great angle, but another shot for the Engineers here.
Now you have to remember, Morello was the hero in the Army game.
That's true.
Scoring in overtime. Looks like he's being pretty aggressive here to start the period, getting those first 2 shots off for the Engineers just 20 seconds into the period. So the Engineers making a bit of a push to start the period, and that's what you want. You don't want them coming out with a lull.
21 seconds in, a couple of attempts at least towards goal for RPI, which is a good start. Tour Linden, near side corner. Poked off his stick. He gets it back along the wall. Now Leppinen turning and had it poked away for a moment, trying to jump back on it. Kept in at the point by Bear. He'll shovel in the near corner. Laka. Handoff for Leppinen, who wasn't looking for it. And it'll be moved out by Yanni Caldis to center. Still Caldis on the move. Linden trying to get back out in front. Is poked away by Savory as it came trickling in near the goal. Might have headed wide. Now it's gathered up in the near corner of the RPI zone. Locke. Bouncing puck, Leppinen to center ice, and it'll be Heiskanen back to pick it up in his own zone. Third period's a minute old, no score here. RPI and the 13th ranked Cornell Big Red, who sit at the top of the ECAC hockey standings with 19 points. It's exactly where they were when the Engineers knocked them off last year. Puck in deep. And now lifted off the glass and out to center. Now we get a whistle and an offside.
And it looks like they've moved Tommy Lee up to the line with Burgess and Zeke, and I guess his hard work has paid off for him, and he's going to start getting more ice time here.
Face-off coming up. One back by the Big Red. They'll track it down in their own zone. And they go D to D now. Here's Matt Nuttall. Far side neutral zone, lifts it off the boards and in deep. Ferner for RPI, shielding it away from some pressure that came in the presence of Regas, and the former Regas. He'll try to jump on it here. Now it's Betts in the far corner. He takes a hit from Hallbauer, lifted in the air, kicked at by Nuttall as he pinches in. Hallbauer back behind the goal. Here's Ferner. Up the boards, Bowman waiting for it at center. He'll fire it in. Rings around to the far side. Nuttall waits for it there. Both teams changing. Matt Nuttall back behind his own goal. A little bit of forecheck pressure comes from Cornell. And now we play the waiting game. Mccrae up the near side boards. Poked at by Morello, trying to sweep it away from Vanderlyn. Finally picked up by Samek, threw it back towards Grant, but plenty of pressure came in the form of Malott. And now it's behind the RPI cage. They're bottled up quickly, centering feed. Backhand shot goes wide. It was Sterrett who tried to stick it home. And now we got a penalty coming up here as Samek's going to go off. And now we got some retaliation coming from Vanderlyn. And we're going to have to sort this out as to who's getting what. There's a player still down. And who is that? Looks like Sterrett, or Malott, excuse me. Let's see. Samek. No, I'm not buying that at all. This is an absolute sell job. No, he's fine.
I guess he saw the ref saying he saw the numbers.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's definitely a penalty. No, it's definitely a penalty.
So both are going to the box.
Yeah, they're going in the box here. It's definitely a penalty. It could even be 5 minutes on Samek.
They're putting up 2 so far.
Yeah, that could change. They're definitely going to talk about it. If it's anything like, it's almost the same exact hit we saw last night. So Samek's, I'm guessing, is going to get the book of the gate here. It's happened too many times here. They're going to look at this penalty. My guess is Samek gets 5 in a game, and the retaliation, I think, was it Vanderlyn who retaliated? He's going to get 2. So it's going to be a 3-minute penalty, or a 3-minute power play, excuse me. But Cornell showed last night you don't have to lie on the ice and try to sell it. No, I'm being serious.
Yeah, it definitely was a crunching hit.
It was a bad hit by Samek. I'll give him that. And Vanderlyn, it was kind of a cheap penalty for him to take. He didn't do a whole lot either.
Yeah.
I don't even think Vanderlyn deserves a penalty. I think it should just be 5. And he came over and pushed Samek, but that wasn't much for me.
Yeah, I guess it's soft.
No, they're cracking down on the dangerous hits. So it should be a 5-minute major in a game misconduct on TJ Samek. Now, I could do without the theatrics.
Yeah, I guess maybe they would, what's that called? Embellishment.
Right.
I guess they could maybe give an embellishment.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because you're never really sure, but.
Yeah, definitely was a crunching hit, but.
You can tell almost right away, you know.
When he got up and was laying on his knees a little bit.
It's gonna be a game misconduct here for TJ Samek. And 5 minutes. It's exactly what I said. So Cornell's going to get 3 minutes of unreleasable power play time out of this.
Yeah, so game misconduct here for Samek, and luckily with the new rule for the NCAA, the Engineers do get to skate 19, and they elected to go with a 7th defenseman tonight, and that 7th defenseman was TJ Samek. So it shouldn't mess up the rotations too much for the Engineers, as they'll continue to have Johnson and Riley together, Bear and Grant together, and then Ferner and Hallbauer together. So it won't mess up the pairings and the line changes too much, but it is one less body you have to sub in, which is always good. You like to have those extra skaters so that your top end players can get a little bit of extra rest here and there. And Samek is also really good on the penalty kill, so right now the Engineers are going to have to kill off after this 2-minute 4-on-4, they're going to have to kill off a 3-minute unreleasable power play from Big Red. So Engineers are going to do that, and we take the face-off here in the neutral zone. Big Red comes out with it. They'll skate through the far side of the ice, stopping there. They'll dump it back to the blue line, held in, taken at the point. They'll send it around to the circle. They already look like they've set up their power play. Taking it at the point is Barron. Barron misconnects on a pass with Green, and they'll skate it back out to neutral ice. Chased there by Whiffen. Whiffen gets a stick on it. Tries centering it there for Grant. Grant's shot gets deflected high and into the net. Whiffen gets it back in the low slot. Shot goes wide, high and into the netting. Face-off coming here for the Engineers. They'll have an offensive zone face-off. Morello with Laka, Riley, and Johnson. Morello set to take the face-off. Morello wins it to Laka. Laka whips it around the boards, bounces it off the Zamboni glass. Johnson battles for it in the corner, and Big Red takes it back behind their net. Taken there by Green. Now moving up with it is Big Red. That's Hiskinen. Hiskinen sends it deep. Riley will take it from behind his own net. Bounces it off the half boards for Hallbauer. Taken back to Riley. He'll play catch behind the net with Morello. Morello drops it for Riley. Riley outlets up to Morello. Now he'll skate down by the Engineer bench. He'll swing through to the near boards. Sends it through. Shot almost gets in. Laka unable to convert. A good setup there from Morello. And Big Red comes back the other way. Taken there by Sternet. Sternet gets a shot that Savory covers easily. So the best opportunity of the night coming there for the Engineers as Morello went streaking down the near side and just sent a shot in towards the net, which Locke was able to get a deflection on. Unfortunately, it deflected here as I'm looking at it again. It deflected just off the side of the cage. The Locke did make a connection, just not a strong enough one. Best opportunity of the night coming for the Engineers. So now defensive zone face-off coming up.
All right, 15:28 to go. Nice job, Joe. Sometimes you just got to put on fires. Around the press box. Bo Sterrett trying to center. Nuddle a pass. Comes all the way through. And now fake a shot. Move it down low. McCrae. And now a tie-up down there as Ferner might have gotten away with a bit of a hold. And now work to the near side circle. Fed back to the point. Penalty about to expire. It's over now. The 3-minute power play, non-releasable. Vanderlyn walks right down the middle, and Savory makes the stop. Oh my! With the glove.
Yeah, and he walked right down. It looked like the Engineers were almost caught off guard from him coming out of the box. They weren't really set up yet for a power play. They were still playing a sort of man as opposed to the diamond shape you like to see on the power play. And so he found a gap right in the middle of the Engineer defense and skated it right into the slot for a shot that Savory was able to glove down.
Shot comes in wide, as this is really make or break time seeming on this game, although there's still going to be a lot of time left after this power play. The way this game has gone, there's a lot riding on this 3-minute man advantage. Now 2.5 to go on it. Will Riley behind his own goal. Swatted to the far side. Cornell trying to set things up. A true test for RPI in this game. TJ Samek also gone. So you're only playing with the the 5 defensemen, although here's more kind of you call them your Swiss Army knife on the team. Right, well, I use the extra D, you're right. So 60 left. Now a shot off the pipe. Rebound saved by Savory. The light goes on. I'm not sure why. It looked like it hit the iron. Another good save after the puck hit the iron by Savory with his toe. As we play on. Power play. Caldas, far side point on the hold. Another minute 46 on the man advantage. Looking to center. All the way around goes Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn up top. Caldas, wrist shot. Deflects over the top of the goal. Chopped at there. To the near side. Vanderlyn. Donaldson fires, and it was Caldas who eventually took the shot from the high slot. Back up top they go.
Engineers need a change here.
Near side. Not going to be able to get one unless they can clear it out here, or they get a whistle. Caldas, center blue line, holding. 13-15 to go in the period. Shot hit his own man as it goes behind the cage. Near side, it's Barron. And now Caldas, a wrister, looking for the redirection from Mullen. That didn't come. Now Barron up top again. 55 to go in the power play. Barron holding, top of the circle. He'll take a shot. Saved by Savory. Loose to the side of the cage. They score. It's Vanderlyn. A power play tally, and it's 1-0. Big Red.
And Savory looked like he had it. He's standing there. It looked like he made the initial stop. And he does.
Yeah, he made the first save, but Vanderlyn was there for the rebound, and Savory could not slide across in time. 1-0 Big Red here. 47 seconds left in the major penalty. As there's a, not sure what this delay is for. I guess it's a media stoppage. Can they have that in the middle of a penalty? I don't know. There's some discussion here.
Coach Smith is up on the bench talking to the linesman. So Big Red breaks the tie here, gets the first goal of the game, and really nothing much that Owen Savory could do. He was sprawled out, and he even almost, after he stopped the first shot, there was another rebound that he again was able to push aside, and then he stuck his stick out one last time, but unfortunately was not able to deflect the puck one more time. So we face off here at center ice as the Engineers look to kill off the rest of this penalty. And again, the Engineers were unable to get a change, and that definitely played a factor in that goal being scored. They had really tired legs out there. And so Big Red gets another shot through that goes behind the net, and they'll reset. Taking now along the half boards. They'll send it back behind the net. Engineers looking to only 17 seconds left on this penalty kill as they try getting into the low circle area. Goes back behind the net. Picked up here. They get another shot through. They're jamming at, and it gets pushed out from under Savory's padding. And they send it up to the point. Shot gets blasted through. Engineers clear, and it'll be Morello gets out of the box. Icing will be waved off because Morello was able to get out of the box and skate it down.
We got 12 minutes to go in the third period. Thanks, Joe. Once again, 1-0 Cornell. Power play goal by Mitch Vanderlyn, his 5th of the year. Someone lost a stick in there. It was Barry. Picks it right back up again. So now the Engineers might have to open some things up to try and tie this one up. Now there's a tie-up along the far side. It'll be Bear back behind the goal. Around to the near side, Betts trying to walk it out in front. Betts, and he ended up putting it wide. Behind the cage, Caldas all the way in deep. And now Yanni Caldas will carry it towards the top of the circle. Poked free for a moment. Glove down by Burgess. He'll move it out to center ice. 3-on-3 as they hit the red line. Engineers will like to just dump it in. Behind the goal it goes. Caldas kicks it to himself. Nearly stolen away by Zeke, but Heiskanen will clean things up and move it along for Donaldson. Moves it into the zone. Barron fires it wide, hits off the back of the net. Played by Lee. Stolen away and now pushed to center. Race for the puck. Good speed by Locke there. Trying to pick his pocket was Bowman. Now Moore drops it off from Bowman. Backhander on goal. Save made from no angle. Will be worked to the far corner. Bowman back to the point. Shot by Riley. Oh, he found Moore at the side of the cage, but he couldn't steer it on goal. A great find by Riley. Now Bowman picks it up. He'll take a tight angle shot. Poked and they score! Mearsmore! Somehow he found room between the pipe and Galida. It's a 1-1 game.
And you know, when I saw Mearsmore before the game tonight, I gave him a fist bump and I said, first line Mearsy, what's going on tonight with that? And he said, yeah, hopefully Mearsy gets a goal tonight. And sure enough, he calls it and he puts it in the net. Great play here to tie it up after a quick turnaround on that power play. And that's a really it's a hard effort play. In front of the net, takes one whack, takes another, gets it through. A really good goaltender
Yeah, Galida made the stop, and one of those plays where you don't expect a puck to be able to be fit in that area between Galida and the post, but somehow Moore snuck it home. Back come the Big Red. Shot and a save. Rebound is cleared away on the carry. And now 5-on-3. The Engineers break to center, although the pass is off the mark from Laka. It'll be lifted back into the RPI zone. Nearly a hand pass. I guess they're saying Ferner didn't touch it. Hallbauer has to deal with a loose stick in his own zone. He finds Lepinin. 1-1, 9:41 to go. Fed along. Here's a pass back to the point, and a shot comes in. It's blocked down to the near side. Half wall moved out to center ice. 3-on-2 for Cornell. Leahy leads the rush, and they're offside, says Jason Shaddy.
And the Engineers have looked actually much more confident since letting in that power play goal. On that last sequence there, their passes were going right to each other, like almost telegraph passes going right to each other. And they were able to get another scoring chance there. Unfortunately, it was blocked, but Autovile Lepinin had the puck right in between the circles. So we're all tied up with 9:28 to go.
Moore with his first goal since he scored against Union back in October. Only scores big goals. I think that one was also a tying goal, if I'm not incorrect, against the Dutchman back on October 26th. Let's see if I'm right about that. Here's Moore. Yeah, it was RPI's second goal in the second period from Ott and Whiffen at the time. So that was also a tying goal. That came in the second, this here in the third of this game. 9:28 left. Mearsmore, second of the season.
And that was a big one for him, you could tell, with the pretty big celebration afterwards. And gets the field house rocking once again.
Neutralized draw, one back by the Big Red. Heiskanen over to pick it up. And it'll be moved out. Drop pass here, Heiskanen. Into the zone they come. Fed across, nice catch on the pass. It'll be carried behind by Mullen. Mullen. Nice drop pass there. Caldas, twisting and turning, has Morello all turned around, and he takes a shot. It was blocked. Picked up by Mullen again, and now we get another man in the crease. No, I think that is the call. Yep. One of the fans to our left had it right. It was Regis just standing right in the side of the crease, and the faceoff will come outside the zone.
Yeah, and Engineers are starting to make them nervous again after they looked like they had a bit of a relief after getting that first goal, and strong play from Savory, but now the Engineers tie it up and they're pushing once again, starting to push back.
Puck shot in, Ferner back to play it. It'll be played by, on the far side there, by Motley. In the air. And kept in his own by Motley. He has some room. Top of the circle shot. Saved by Savory with the glove, and he'll hold on.
So Savory not letting that one goal get to him. Again, looking confident in the net, seeing the puck from the stick to the glove. And that's exactly what goalies should be doing.
Shots are 33-11, Cornell. But RPI's 11th shot has tied this game. 1-1.
All it takes is one.
Draw coming in the RPI zone. You're listening to live coverage of RPI hockey, 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy. Green from the point, hammers it off the glass, caroms around to the far side, poked on by Linden, kept alive by Nuttall on the pinch. Nuttall around the net, being harassed by Linden. Still Nuttall. Now on the far side. To the wall he goes, top of the circle. Nuttall with a handoff. Green, centering pass, all the way through, lifted towards the line, kept in by Barron. Barron top of the circle, down low, fed in front. Oh, he should have scored. Oh my. An opportunity there. And now back come the Engineers. Flipped on goal. It was Locke on the doorstep, and I don't know how he didn't put it home. Now a shot from the point by Riley is partially blocked into the near corner. Nuttall fed across. I think Savory had something to say about that opportunity. This is going to be moved in for Donaldson on the far side. He loses an edge and goes down. Moved out by Bowman. Flip to the near side, Moore. Fires it in wide of the cage. And now Bowman there on it. Behind the goal he goes. Now it's Betts. Hand it off for Leahy. Cornell looks to break out near side. Vanderlyn has the lone Cornell goal. A little blind backhand pass for Leahy to the point. Mccrae a shot, hit a body. That was Moore who got in the way of that one. Now Sterrett. Fed to the far side. Down low. Tied up Sterrett. Right to Bowman goes the puck, and the Engineers move to center. And Bowman will chip it deep. 7 minutes to go, third period. 1-1 RPI and number 13 Cornell. Finally some goals here in the third after we were scoreless after 2. Back to the RPI zone it goes. Ferner runs out of real estate along the near side boards and ends up lifting it in deep. No icing here. Whiffen throws a hit. Puck played near side, kept in at the point. Ferner across. Fanning on the shot there was Hallbauer, but it does find Whiffen in the end. Brady Whiffen takes a bump behind the cage. Morello takes over in the near corner. He and Malott go into it. Puck behind the RPI goal now. Kicked at by Gornell. Kicked down further. Morello trying to center it. It was broken up. And now Whiffen's being tied up. Fans want to hold there. Not going to get it on Mullen. As the puck back down another way. Whiffen looked like he was being impeded just a bit there by Mullen. Doesn't get the call. Puck back into the RPI zone. Mullen pinned off by Ferner. Shoots it around to the far side. And the Engineers getting beaten to the puck here on a couple occasions, but now it pops free to Leppinen. Laka trying to move it across, and that pass a little off the mark from Jacob Laka. Nuttall will turn it around for Cornell, carrying in near side. Fed on through, trying to knock it out of the air there was Regish. And now a shot comes in from the circle, and a save by Savory on the pad. Leppinen trying to feed it across the middle of the ice, and a little bit too cute again. That pass over the middle of the neutral zone. Not one you want to make on many occasions, especially not against this Cornell team. And RPI has gotten away with it a few times here tonight. 5:20 to go in the game. 1-1 Engineers in Big Red. Cornell dump it in. Far side corner. There's a tie up there. Murphy and Hallbauer. And now Laka to center. Finding Zeke. Zeke will just dump it into the near side on the cross corner dump. He'll chase after it. Mccrae takes a hit but gets rid of it to the far side. Leahy up the wall. Good connection to Sterrett. Onside was Barron. Now the puck does leave the zone, but it's on his tape. He'll turn back towards his own bench. Takes a bump there. Grant throws a hit, or make it Riley rather. Walking in Barron. One-timer Sterrett. Save made. It might have been blocked by Johnson. And this will be lifted out to center and all the way down the ice. They wave off the icing early. 4.5 to go in regulation. Still tied at 1. Flipped along into the zone. Donaldson, good connection. In front, and a shot by Vanderlyn, no. And now Donaldson trying to toe drag. Fed on goal, still loose. It's going to be covered up by Savory. There's a mass of humanity in and around the RPI crease, and the puck's not in the goal.
And Cody Haskinen either kicking his skate and slapping his stick a little bit in frustration there. Owen Savory just staying calm the whole time.
He's got the lower everything of the net covered. Nothing was going to sneak in underneath him, that's for sure. And he eventually was able to track it down. When there's enough bodies in front of the crease, it's tough to find any kind of room to even pull a stick back and shoot a puck, let alone get it by the goalie. So good job defensively by RPI on a collapse there when they knew the puck was in the vicinity.
Yeah, and again, Owen Savory just staying calm, and that's the most important part, to not panic when you have all those bodies flying around in front of you, crashing on top of you. And so Owen Savory growing as a freshman netminder in college hockey. 4:17 to go here in the third period. It's still tied, 1-1. Cornell now out shooting the Engineers 37-12. So I guess that's the theme of the weekend for the Engineers, because the ladies got outshot by Cornell 53-11 earlier tonight. Unfortunately, they were unable to come out with the victory. I believe they lost 5-0, but the men could change the story.
Face-off coming up. In the RPI zone, Vanderland to the far side. And now into the zone come the Engineers. Worked up the glass. And now all the way down the ice it goes, left of the net. It can be covered up by Savory.
Yeah, face-off coming here, and could make the argument that he should have let it go by, but I think it was, with the way the game's been played tonight, it's probably smart to make the safe play if you're Owen Savory and get the Engineers a line change. Get some fresh legs.
Moved up the wall as Cornell wins the face-off here. But the Engineers have it now. Riley, Donovan Ott trying to work it up the boards. Broken up by Nuttall. Forced on through by Ott, but right back to the RPI line it comes. Johnson, 3:39 to go. And RPI may be headed for overtime again. We have delayed offside. That's what the whistle's for. Shots are 37-12. Big Red. We'll have a draw coming up in the neutral zone momentarily.
Yeah, still just 3:34 to go, and like you said, we may be heading to overtime, but hopefully the Engineers can find a way to prevent that from happening and come out with the win. It'd be a weekend sweep, which I don't believe they've had since Union at the beginning of the year, at least for the ECAC.
Draw here. He'll be moved in deep by Zinke. And now sent all the way down the ice. This is going to be icing, I think. Yeah, that's right. Johnson was the first one to it. And we get a stoppage here in a face-off now in the Cornell end.
And I think, like you said at the beginning of the period, the key here is to play off of Cornell's frustration. And now that's tied back up again. And when they start to push more, try and make sure that you make the most of those opportunities that you get from them being over-aggressive.
Face-off to the far side, and now gathered up by Riley, who rings it in. Green trying to gather it up with his skate is Nuttall. Nice job to just lift it out of the zone, although he shoots it into the RPI bench. Watch out, our assistant coach is there, had to get out of the way. And that was Dan Jewell, who I interviewed pregame, and he's trying to find himself in the broadcast again, although this time something maybe he doesn't want to, getting hit by a puck. I think he just dodges out of the way of it.
Coach Smith looks to be looking for a call here. I'm not sure what he saw, but he seems to think he's been slighted. Now talking to the linesman.
We got some vocal fans here. I like that. As long as they're being courteous of the kids in the audience is fine with me. They can yell whatever they want.
Seems like they know the game, too.
Yeah. Just no swearing, please. 3:04 to go in the third. 1-1 RPI and Cornell here. Getting down to the nitty-gritty here, Joe.
Yeah, got to stay focused.
Moore takes the face-off for RPI. He'll do it all. Stare it now in the near corner of his own zone behind for Caldis. Lifts up the boards. Nice read there, Hallbauer. Trying to move it in front. Shot coming! It deflects just wide. Ott looking for it. And maybe if that one comes in clean, he scores, but it hit something on the way through. Now to the point, Hallbauer. Up the wall, Moore lost it in his skates. Hallbauer has it. He'll work it right back into the corner. Bowman spun his wheels a bit and lost it there. Trickling towards the blue line, it's out to center. Moore's in a backhanded backhand. It hit Hallbauer, who was down. It'll draw a whistle and an offside. 2:28 to play. Still tied 1-1 RPI and Cornell here.
And as you said, Mears Moore after that face-off, he can do it all. He's just he's a player that likes to play hockey, so he'll do whatever it takes to make sure he's on the ice and helping his team. Defense, offense, center, left wing, right wing, doesn't matter.
Face-off here. Grant going to shoot it in. Glove down and held by Galida for a whistle.
Not a bad play, as the Engineers are going to get an offensive zone face-off out of it. So if they're taking it from neutral ice, they'll maybe be able to get a set play here in the offensive zone.
Draw coming to the left of Matthew Galida, who hasn't been tested a whole lot. Just 13 saves so far for him tonight. Trying to do enough to get Cornell a road win at the Houston Fieldhouse. Over 3,100 in attendance. Now a good speed shown by Betts. He takes a shot, and the rebound pops to the near circle. The Engineers cover it well. Tommy Grant will lob it on out to center. Now race the other way. This one's icing, and Gornell, furious, smashes the glass with his hand. He thought he had beaten Nuttall down the ice. It was close, but I tend to agree with the officials here. I thought Nuttall had a step on Gornell.
Yeah, and what stinks for Cornell now is that he just expensed a lot of energy there on that sprint, and it looked like he tried sticking his skate out to get the dot.
Yeah.
Get the dot. That's a racer's tactic.
Yeah, I think you're right. I still think Nuttall beat him down there, but it was no doubt a great effort because he was about maybe a half or a full stride behind Nuttall when that race began. Anyway, Engineers do get it deep, and they're able to change, so no harm, no foul here. As Caldis going to work it along, fed into the zone. Barron pulls up at the far wall. Cycling, Caldis. Dueling in the far corner with Laka. Laka ends up losing his stick. Spun out to center by Lepin, and this is going to be icing again on RPI. And this time a much easier call as Green is the first one down the ice. Minute 24 left in a 1-1 game.
And not too bad of an icing call there. Zlaka didn't have his stick, so there wasn't really anybody to pass to on the breakout, so just clear it and maybe just try and clear it and get another opportunity on this face at this time with all your speeders having sticks in their hands.
Face off, puck goes behind the goal. Johnson has some room to look up ice. Jake Johnson, freshman on the Bloomington, lifted along, great pass, walking in, shot coming. Oh, what a diving poke check by Nuttall. He denies Tuur Linden there. It's not going to show up in the box score. But boy, Matt Nuttall, the senior, making a big time play defensively as it looked for all the world like Tuur Linden was going to walk in there for a shooting opportunity.
Yeah, Tuur Linden had a lot of speed flying down the far side of the ice. And it looked like a grade A chance, but like you said, Nuttall with greater effort to stop it.
So we're now a minute 9 away from OT. Here's Lee. Back to the point. Bear pulls back, takes a shot, hit a skate on the way through. Lifted high off the glass and out to center ice. Tommy Grant, pressured by Barron. Barron goes down, puck comes free, and now Grant has it. Near side, Bowman trying to jump on it, out of his reach, and this is going to be icing here with 45.9 left.
So the Engineers shooting themselves in the foot a bit with all these icings coming in the final couple minutes, but it looks like they're going for it. It's not like they're just dumping the puck down. They see a guy streaking and maybe having an opening, so it's not like it's a bad play. Just unable to connect.
Now a timeout here taken by RPI, and you can't take it with you, obviously, so not a bad time to use it if you're Dave Smith and the Engineers.
Yeah, get your guys some water, get your guys some rest, and make sure they got their heads on when they go back out for the face-off. Fans showing their approval here for a well-fought effort against one of the top teams in the country and top teams in the league.
So, Joe, we could have overtime for the second time in a week. RPI went to overtime on Tuesday against Union, ended up not getting no goals in that one. Officially a tie as far as the NCAA records are concerned. Union did win the shootout in 6 rounds, 3-2, to claim their 3rd straight Mayor's Cup, but those are 2 of the top teams in the league. You look at the standings. I mean, ECAC standings, maybe not Union, but they're still in the top 20.
Yeah, still in the top 20 in the country. So, a long week for the Engineers.
Yeah, a real long week, but they only have 1 game next weekend against Dartmouth on the road. So, the schedule really lightens up after tonight, and so you have to really, with that in mind, you're probably not thinking about that at all, honestly, but you can put that all aside and say, we have 45 seconds, 46 seconds, plus potentially 5 more minutes to lay it all on the line. You can rest tomorrow and the next day. Face-off coming up in the RPI zone to the right of Savory. 45.9 ticks to go in a 1-1 tie score. Riley, far side, worked ahead by Linden, and now Gornell. Johnson picks it up at center. He'll shoot it in. Caroms around to the far corner. Gornell's there. Down low for Whiffen. He overskates, but just leaves it there for Gornell. They trade places. Gornell twisting and turning. Goes behind the goal. Watched by Caldis. 8 versus 8. Back to the point. Johnson, shot blocked down. Morello will fire one wide. And it caroms around to the far side, picked up by Barron. Barron on the move. Stick handling into the zone. They're onside. Barron spins around and fires it wide. Picked up in the near corner by Caldis. 5 to go in regulation. Throws it off the back of that. He gets dumped there. Johnson with 1. That will do it for regulation time. As we are headed to OT, RPI number 13 Cornell. Shots through regulation 38-14 in favor of the Big Red.
Yeah, an exciting one here at the Fieldhouse tonight. So we'll get a little bit of a break here, but the Engineers have at least forced overtime at the moment, and you gotta think that maybe there's a chance they could pop one in. They've started to push a little bit, and they've started to have opportunities like Tor Linden did on that last exchange in the last couple minutes here, and just. The Engineers definitely they've put themselves when they've needed to play, they've put themselves in a situation where they can come out with points in the ECAC, and that's what it's all about. Either a sweep here or a weekend where they don't take a loss would be pretty important. And Owen Savory has saved 37 of the 38 shots he's faced, and continuing what's been a great start to his career here at RPI.
So, we'll take a look at the out-of-town scores real quick, Joe, before we get to overtime. Most of these games should be close to over, if not already. We do have a final. Union 6-0 over Colgate. Oh boy, took out their aggression on the Raiders there after not scoring last night against Cornell. Yale 4, Brown 2 late in the third. Quinnipiac 3-0 over St. Lawrence. They are late in the third period. Clarkson 2, Princeton 1, also late in the third there. And that's it. Other than this game here, 1-1 as we head to overtime. Cornell 1 for 4 on the power play. Remember that 5-minute major, they got 1 in that. 10 power play shots. The Engineers haven't had a power play since the first period. They're 0 for 1. Still winning the draws, though, RPI is 32-30, which is pretty significant considering they don't have their top faceoff man in Jacob Hayhurst.
Yes, I think that's what's been most impressive about the Engineers so far is that they have found a way to continue to get opportunities despite their leading point scorer and their leading goal scorer both out for tonight, Jacob Hayhurst and Patrick Polino. But it looks to me like Mears Moore has taken that role as a senior leader on this team and really started to push what he's been given the opportunity playing alongside Todd Burgess and Chase Zeke, who Hayhurst originally was playing with, and he's grasped the moment and he's tied it up here for the Engineers. So 5 minutes.
5 minutes, sudden death overtime. 1-1 your score, and the Big Red win the draw. Work to the near side, tied up Tommy Grant. Pops free to the RPI blue line. And now Morello digs for it. They continue to scrap away. Finally, it's back out to center. Nuttall, who's had a great third period, throws it ahead. Turning up ice with it, or trying to, was Whiffen. He goes down. And now it's Malott over there as well. Into the skates of Sterrett, picked up by Whiffen. Near side, Gornell moves it across the blue line. Gornell pulls it back, takes a shot. It's blocked by Nuttall again. He's been everywhere for Cornell, and now he carries it ahead with Barron. On for Barron, walking out in front. Barron, a backhand, and a save by Savory, his 39th stop of the night.
Yeah, Savory saying no to Barron. And I'm not sure how many shots Barron has tonight, but I have to think he's got at least 10. He had 8 through 2 periods, so he must have had at least 1 in the third and then 1 in overtime. So that's a lot of shots on goal.
Yeah, he has 10 now. Barron does. 10 shots for Barron. And 14 for RPI. Here's Johnson from behind his own goal. Works it ahead. Leppinen. He'll lift it in deep. Around behind it goes. Caldas goes into the end boards with Leppinen, with Linden. And now it's pinned there behind the Cornell goal. 3:50 to play in OT. Pulling up his lock. He'll try the near side. Hits Barron in the back of the skates. He turns around. And it's into the zone. Now a chance for a 2-on-1. Donaldson walking in. Takes a shot save. Thrown across. Loose in front. And it's swept away by Savory. Goodness, how? He somehow scooped it out of there. And now we get an offside. Oh, not an offside because we play on. Leppinen never touched the puck. Now he goes off on a change. Johnson. Oh, and Savory making folks' hearts stop here at the Fieldhouse. Swatting that puck out of the crease with his glove. Around to the far side it goes. Engineers on the attack now. Zeke behind the goal. Runs free to Burgess in the near corner. 3 minutes to go in overtime. Caldas and Burgess. Tie up behind the goal. Puck comes free for Betts. He'll shoot it around. Coming over to play. Good pinch by Ferner to keep it alive in the offensive zone as the Engineers change forwards here. Couple of guys looking like they're just about out of gas. 2:40 left in overtime. And now Cornell's going to complete a change of its forwards. And they get some big-time size out there. Malott and Sterrett and Mullen. This is about as big as it gets for Cornell up front. Lifted up the near side. Bowman has a man breaking. It was Ott, but he'll carry in. Bowman pulls it back, takes a shot off the end wall. Might have hit a leg on the way through. Now Nuttall in the far corner. Run into by a pair of Engineers. Worked back towards the point as Bowman goes down. Shot came to the side of the cage. Ott tried to find it. Stolen away by Sterrett. Sterrett fears it in near side for Heiskanen. Stolen away by Bowman. He goes down, trying to find the puck, and back to help out is Malott. Heiskanen will go D to D, and now Nuttall up the boards. Moved into the zone by Tristan Mullen. He's knocked down by Johnson. He takes Johnson down. And you're going to need to commit some kind of crime to take a penalty in this overtime. 1:36 to go in OT. McCrae moves it down low. Taking a shot there was Donaldson. He goes down, and it's moved out by Cornell. Has Morello with him. Cornell just going to move it up the ice and chip it in. Takes McCrae's stick away. Puck comes up the near side boards. Riley a shot. Trickling in. Cornell poked away by the stick of Galida. Heads up play there by Galida. That was probably his only move. Puck played to the far side. Still no stick for McCrae. Johnson walking in. Trying to drop it back to Riley, but it hit a skate and leaves the zone. We are down to 1 minute to go in overtime. 1-1 RPI and Cornell. Poked out a check at center. Denied Riley's entry. RPI shoots it in the end. Lifted up the boards out to center ice. Donaldson there. Picked up Leppinen. He'll play it along. Good pass. Near side Laka. Laka walks in. Fakes the slap shot. He'll carry it around behind the goal. Jacob Laka on the move. Carries it all the way around to the point. Shot comes in. Hit a leg. Picked up far side, chipped to center ice. Past everybody. This is going to be icing if they can win the race. And it is on the Big Red. 30.1 left in OT. We got a draw coming up in the Cornell zone, and they haven't used their timeout yet. This would be the time. As Owen Savory, they're showing the replay of the glove swipe he made to keep that puck out of the net. Doing everything he possibly can.
Yeah, what I like about the Engineers here in overtime is that they're not playing to tie or to not lose, as one might say. They're playing to win. They've had several opportunities of their own, and one of the results of taking those risks and taking those chances is that there are going to be rushes the other way, but it's overtime, and the Engineers they're going for it here, and that's what you want to see from your team. You want to see aggression, and you want to see a confident team that's saying, okay, this is one of the best teams in the league. This is one of the best teams in the country, but we're not afraid of them, and we're going to push back. And it's sudden death, so next goal wins. It might as well be ours.
Well, sports are a funny thing, and if the Engineers are able to hold on here, whether it be a tie or they get the goal in the last 30 seconds, Owen Savory is going to have 2 career shutouts in 1 week, and they're both neither of them are going to result in wins. It's going to be 2 ties. That's pretty. Oh, sorry, it's 1-1. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting there's no. I think there's no score.
Yeah, it's tied. No, but
it is tied,
I mean, despite it not being a shutout, it's been an incredible game for him. That last save, I mean, sprawled out once again on his back, making the first stop, making the second stop, then sprawled out, flipping the puck up in the air, and another stick almost whacking it in. But just really, really strong play from the freshman netminder.
So here we go, 30.1. It is 1-1, not 0-0. For everyone else's memories, just as bad as mine. Draw here to the right of Galida. Fans on their feet here, many of them at the Houston Fieldhouse, waiting for this face-off. 3,121 here. One back to the point. Johnson through traffic, and it skips on wide. Now moved out to center. Here they come, Barron. Trying to kick at it was Johnson. It goes into the far corner. Mullen rubbed off the play by Johnson, now picked up by Morello. He'll lob it in the air with 12. Bounding into the Cornell zone. It's turned around quickly by Caldis. Lifted up the wall, stolen back by Morello. Chips it softly up the boards to avoid the icing here. It'll go down as a tie as his horn's about to sound. The Engineers and Big Red share the points on this night.
Mike Cornell is absolutely fumed right now. 5 games in 8 days has certainly done it for him. On his stick to his knee, head bent over, going over to congratulate his goaltender, who's really just had a phenomenal week here. I'm not sure who's going to be ECAC goalie of the week, but I have to think that Owen Savory at least gets consideration for it.
Yeah, it's going to be close. He certainly deserves some kind of recognition for his week of play. Just the 2 goals allowed in 3 games, 2 of them going to overtime, and he got a win and a couple of ties to show for it. But RPI holds on here for the unbeaten weekend, which if you put those together throughout the course of the year, you're going to have a pretty good season. So
not
RPI,
just unbeaten weekend, but unbeaten week.
Sorry, you're right. Unbeaten weekend as far as the league is concerned, an unbeaten week, including the Mayor's Cup, where they were able to tie there. Owen Savory once again, the player of the game inside the Houston Fieldhouse, but Up here, Joe, I'm going to have you come up with your offensive and defensive engineers of the game here before we get out of here.
So on offense, I think it has to go to Mears Moore because he had the only offense of the game for the Engineers. He had that goal late in the third period, or in the middle of the third period, to tie it up, and it really was just an effort goal. It was a goal to show that I am a player that can play on this top line with Zeke and Burgess, with my teammate Hayhurst out, and I can tally it up. So just like he did earlier in the year, Mears Moore, the hero here tonight for the Engineers. On defense, it's got to be Owen Savory to get at least one of the defensive engineers of the game. 40 saves on 41 shots. Just absolutely incredible.
I think the fans want a curtain call here. He's not off the ice yet, Savory.
Yeah.
I think they want him to go back out there. Maybe not.
Yes.
I think they'd like it, but I don't think it's going to happen.
And it's good to see the players being shown recognition, because they do play well when they do play well. And Owen Savory didn't just play well, he played absolutely phenomenal. And the other defensive engineer of the game, I think I'm going to give it to Will Riley, because like I said, he had some really strong plays in front of the crease to help out Owen Savory and keep guys out from in front of the net, and just making that strong first pass to force the breakout. And even though Cornell was able to get back and back check strong and prevent a lot of those offensive opportunities, Will kept the puck out of the defensive zone for the most part. So.
All right, cool, Joe. Well, before we get going, Joe, I'd like to thank the Rensselaer Union, which provides funding for WRPI and all the club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. A reminder, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to WRPI.org. You can pick up our broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As long as WRPI is broadcasting, we'll provide that broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, that's WRPI.org. I'd like to thank our folks back at the station for getting us on the air and keeping us there all the way through OT here. RPI and Cornell finishing things up with the tie. So for Joe Pizzicato, I'm Perry Lascaris. We once again want to thank you for listening to tonight's game. Your final score was the Engineers 1 and number 13 Cornell 1. You've been listening to live coverage of RPI Hockey, 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy.